Rogério, vai-te embora. Vai-te embora.
Está a gravar. Tinhas de ter andado um bocadinho mais.
Puxa, conta 1, 2, 3. É mais fácil.
2, 3.
Ok.
Espera aí, desculpa. Eu carreguei no coisa. Oh, afinal está a gravar, desculpa. Vá.
Ui, papai. Ai, vou ter que gravar outra. Põe por dentro ou põe por fora? O que é que achas? Isto não escorre. Olha. Porra, isto dá mesmo vontade de chorar, que esta merda arde. It's actually nice. Esta merda absorve aqui. Caralho, pá, foda-se. Está a gravar, não está?
Tá.
Oh, que merda.
Oh,
Bateste na minha perna.
caralho.
Eu senti.
Depois bati. Tá? Espera, para o gajo baixo.
A sério?
O gajo baixou bué.
Oh, foi tão bom. Agora estou toda cagada. Vou falar de ratos. Fui eu agora. So now talking about the recordings. So the recordings were originally supposed to be made in 4 days. Unfortunately, they took 5 because in 1 day we were saving like 1 day per each character because each makeup and characterization, the hair painting and everything took approximately 3 hours, and so we were planning to spend 1 day per character, so 4 days. But unfortunately, on the puppet day, we ran out of time. We were already not getting enough light, and so we chose to come a different day to record the scenes that we had remaining. There were also some scenes that were on the original video script that we ended not recording because they were supposed to be recording on a building where it was like not a building but a construction where they kept the pigeons, and we wanted to go there to record, but unfortunately from the first time we went there till we went there to shoot, the vegetation grew a lot, and so we could not possibly go to that structure, and so the scenes that were planned that were supposed to be recorded on that structure didn't take place, but that was actually fine. About paranormal activity during the shootings, sorry to disappoint, guys. Only I felt I didn't feel well on that first part where they kept the horses, but we ended up not shooting anything there, so it was just passing by. The place where I was feeling where I really didn't want to be, and we shot some scenes there, was the backyard just beside the church. And there's a specific scene that where you see the red character passing through a door, and Ricardo was actually inside with the door closed, and I was alone in that backyard, and I had that feeling like I wanted to get out of there, but Ricardo, oh my gosh, the scene was not, it wasn't his fault, it's just the scene wasn't getting the way I was envisioning it, so we had to try several times before I got close to the result that I was planning. And oh my gosh, I mean, it was like I just wanted to get that done, and it was taking forever, and I wasn't feeling well at all in that place. The other thing that was really interesting and curious was that we recorded with a gimbal, and the gimbal has a locked mode, so when you have the locked mode activated, the gimbal doesn't move. And on the scene that there's a scene that the main character, the second version of the main character, is climbing the stairs, and it looks like a tunnel of vegetation, but those are actually the stairs that give access. It's the second floor, and the gimbal wouldn't stand still in that place. It was so it was an interesting phenomenon because Ricardo was like, oh my gosh, this thing, look at this, doesn't stop moving. And it was in the lock position. And I arrived there, I grabbed the gimbal, and I pointed towards the stairs, and I kid you not, guys, the gimbal was moving. I think it was moving to the right. I don't remember if it was right or left, but it was moving somewhere. And just a faint movement, and I thought, but I didn't got spooked out or anything. I just felt like it was something. I felt it was friendly. I felt it was like, hey there, we're here, we're watching, and we are appreciating your work. I think it was something like that. It was interesting because that lasted for a bit, but then I think I resetted the gimbal, and then I pointed it again, and then it was perfectly stable. But it was an interesting thing that took place. About my favorite scenes, I don't have only one favorite scene. I have several. One of my favorite scenes is the one that the second version is actually the first scene that we are introduced into the second version of the main character, when I get up from the floor. I absolutely love that scene. Also, one scene that is one of my favorites, and that was improvised. And that's the scene where the red character is sitting on the floor on the glass and she is looking up. It was so amazing because there was no wind on that day, and then suddenly there was a breeze coming. The effect was so perfect that some of you asked if I had a fan with me so I can have that wind effect. And no, it was totally improvised in the spur of the moment. The wind just came out of nowhere, blowing in the exact time, in the exact intensity, in the exact direction. And I just absolutely love the end result of that scene. Also, the first scene of the puppet, it's one of my favorites, with that choreography with the wires. I actually have some shootings of me rehearsing at home, trying to see how could I do that scene perfectly in a way that it felt like I was being pulled by wires. I'm wearing my pajamas. Yeah, that wasn't I recorded this for myself. I thought it was funny to show it to you guys. And also, of course, the scenes from the corridor where there are several ghostly figures walking around, and I love the end result. I love how it played out. The scene with the puppet character cutting her wires and setting herself free, that was actually the hardest scene for me to record, because we had a candle to burn the wires, but then I didn't want the candle to be visible on the end result. So I had to put fire on the wires, then take off the candle real quick, then break free the wires, and then blow them and put out the fire so that I wouldn't be burned. So that was the hardest scene for me to record. And there was wind that day, so the wind kept turning the candle down. We had to light up the candle so many times. Oh my gosh. But I love the end result. And the scene with the doll on fire also was really hard to record, but I love that scene. But it was really hard because the doll didn't want to catch fire. True story. Oh my gosh. I think I spent a whole box of matches to light up that infernal doll. Oh my gosh. Still, I love that scene. Some of you asked about the crystal ball scene, and that actually the crystal ball scene has a fun story behind it. So it was easy to record. I recorded in the first take. I rehearsed that movement in front of a mirror, but that movement is actually really, really easy to do. When I come up with the idea of having a crystal ball, I didn't have enough time to order or buy a crystal ball, and I couldn't find a crystal ball anywhere. And so I remember I have a friend who owns a crystal ball. He's a photographer, and he uses the crystal ball in some of his shootings. And I remember asking him, hey, can you let me borrow your crystal ball from our video clip? And he was kind enough to let me borrow his crystal ball. Elvin, thank you so much, you're the best, man. He loved the end result, by the way. Also a big thanks to Vidraria JR, and it's a glass company that also produces mirrors, and they were kind enough to let me have some of the cuts of the mirrors, so I could break them and have all those mirrors on the floor. So that was made of mirror waste, so totally environmental friendly. So about the edition of the video, it was all edited using the software Wondershare Filmora. I saw some tutorials about how to do certain effects. That's the amazing thing. That's one of the things that I love about Wondershare Filmora. They have tons of tutorials explaining you how you can do certain effects, and what I didn't know what to do, I just learned, and that was pretty much it.